listening to very excellent and focused presentations and very critical questions. I would like to thank all the speakers, those who raised very relevant questions, and above all, we have been able to manage the time also.
Yes, that's important.
Because time is equally important. So having said that, I was just wondering when Devinderji asked me to chair this session. I was, of course, I was determined to come over here, even without that. But I don't know why he put this responsibility on my shoulders. I'm a trained economist, turned a little bit social scientist, and I'm trying to learn ecology, environment, and all the nitty-gritty of this. Of course, I have worked on water also. I would like to take back to you to the Industrial Revolution. About 2.5 centuries back, perhaps the problem of environment, ecology and all these things, water, these were not very pertinent at that point. So we will have to go back to the Industrial Revolution, which turned a kind of system into the so-called GDP. And what is GDP? GDP is translation of natural resources combined with labor into some monetary figure. In other words, it's destruction of natural resources. If you agree with me that it is destruction of natural resources, GDP doesn't come on its own. It's just a translation of something into another thing. If it is so, then we will have to question the very development paradigm and growth model. What is growth model today? It is consumption-led growth model. It is consumption-led growth model. If today consumption slows down, your growth machine will slow down. And once your growth machine slow downs, it has wider implications and manifestations. Layoff, unemployment. And today in this world of inequality being generated day in and day out, you are well aware of Oxfam's latest report. 73% of the wealth income generated in India goes back to 1%. Now, this consumption-led growth model and inequality and concentration of purchasing power in few hands. This is self-contradictory model and built-in bias in this capitalist market-driven development model. There is a built-in bias. Whenever there is slump, depression, recession, then Keynesian economics comes in. Devinderji was referring to, somebody else was referring to consume raise effective demand so that there is consumption and the growth machine runs. This is one aspect. Second is the green revolution. When Devinderji was referring to the shock, every shock turns into business, I was being reminded of Naomi Kleim's book, Shock Doctrine. Perhaps some of you might have read. It's worth reading how the market-driven system uses that shock doctrine into shock therapy, and then you know the whole story. How some people still think that perhaps it's the population which is the root cause of all this. I beg to differ. It's not the population. Poverty is the root cause of population, and population then leads. There was a great study by Muhammad Mumdani in Punjab itself about 40 years back. In Khanna area, he did a field work here in Punjab and asked the landless agricultural laborers and other laborers, why do you have so many children? The answer was, because our one child is equivalent to 1 acre of land. We do not have to invest anything on it. When he or she turns 6, he or she starts earning. So it's the poverty which is the root cause, population is the symptom. And it has been proven by theory that as development goes on, rate of growth of population declines. In your Punjab it's 1.16, near replacement, and in India 40 years it was 3% per annum, now it's 1.66% per annum. By any way, population is going to stabilize in India by 2050 at 150 crore. So those who are thinking that population is the problem, I say be vigilant. It is the greed which is the problem. Greed is the problem, population is not the problem. Because your whole development model is not need-based, it's greed-based. And we will have to question the limits of growth. Do we really need such type of growth? Do we really need such type of consumption pattern? Was it there 50 years back? When I was studying in Chandigarh, way back in 1969, there was no fan even. And we were comfortable. Your whole green revolution model is the development and growth of global agri-business. Global agri-business developed it, and the shock doctrine, shock therapy was that India and many other countries, they were starving. And the global agri-business used that shock to bring in green revolution and called high yielding varieties of seeds. My friends, no seed was high yielding. You don't use water, don't use chemical fertilizers. Will they be high yielding? They are high responsive yields. And who gained out of it? The global agri-business. The whole selling of agricultural machinery, who gained out of it? Whole subsidy, to whom does it go? In Punjab, when the smoke reached to Delhi, the Delhi decided to give subsidy on machinery for in situ incorporation of the paddy straw and crop residue. This is just to promote those machinery people, nothing else. They are not bothering about alternatives. That this raw material, which we call crop residue, mixing with so many other things, solid waste and all this, this can be translated into bio-CNG and bio-manure, which can go back to the soil as organic manure. But because in this process there is no subsidy, they are not promoting, they are not advocating it. Even your agriculture universities are not advocating. Even Pollution Board is not advocating this because they have nothing to eat. So my friends, subsidy is the biggest scam. We inquired from Govindgarh near here. If you buy straw management system without subsidy, it is 2.5 lakhs. If with subsidy, it is 4 lakh. Where does 1.5 lakh subsidy goes? So my dear friends, please, for God's sake, it is not population, it is the greed, and there is vicious circle which they people are propagating and all that. So vicious circle is that they first destroy the system, then they come in to rebuild the system, and this is going on and going on.
And GDP grow up.
And GDP grows. And GDP grows. This is same with the health services. Probably it is not the health service deliveries, it is medical service deliveries. Well, we should be aware about it. If it is social and preventive measures, perhaps you may not need so many tests, so many medicines and medical services and all that. Not taking much of your time, I would just to the organizers, and I'm happy that right to life is being forced. If we think that right to life is fundamental right, then right to clean water, right to clean air, right to clean soil, right to clean surroundings and clean food is the fundamental right. And when we are convinced that it is the fundamental right, only then the right, fundamental constitutional right to life will be materialized. Without this, probably. So the time is, while focusing on ecology, environment and all that, we must focus on the kind of system and all those people and lobbies who are behind destruction of ecology and environment. We will have to identify them, we will have to expose them, and unless and until that is done, probably we will be short of something which we just want and which we want that our children should. So I'm really thankful to all of you, particularly the organizers, Dialogue Highway, and my long-time friend Devinderji, that they have given me this opportunity to listen to very learned speakers and be part of this great discourse. Thank you very much.
So now you know why I requested Professor Ghuman to be the chair of this session. And the basic idea, I think, is we must involve, sit with converse and talk, that's all in fashion. But I think more we involve people from the mainstream, it is very important, and I think it's time to sensitize. And also they would appreciate what is happening, which perhaps got missed out and so on. And of course we are very thankful to Professor R.S. Ghuman. for chairing this session, and the panelists for doing a remarkable job. I'm sure you'll agree. Let's give them a big hand. Set the entire agenda into motion now. I have a request to make, some submission to make is that all the panelists who are here, who are going to speak, please, your paper that you are presenting here, if you need a little bit of tinkering, please do it. We intend to publish a book. We intend to publish a book on this entire issue, and for which we will need all your presentations, and I would still say, don't make it more than 10 pages, but give us those 10 pages after you edit it and so on. And this will go into a volume that we want to produce, edited by our senior journalist and colleague, Mr. Sanjay Sharma. If you can stand up, Sanjay ji. Sanjay ji has taken the responsibility of editing this volume, and this will be the outcome of this workshop or conference. Thank you, sir. Sanjay.